if you could look within yourself and see what your strengths are, which is phenomenal, but also see your weaknesses, because we're all human. That's how you're going to move forward. And then again, this is why a big thing in this project is because of the words that I'm putting out there. It has me self-reflecting, and has, as much as I want people to realize how amazing they are, it's not bad to see the weakness to make yourself stronger in yourself.
All right, guys, welcome back to your Joyage. It's Cade, your guide. I'll be replacing the voice I dread for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thank you for listening or viewing on whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Today, we're doing a new series. This is an interview series that I'm just starting. Shaun Kuote is our first guy on the show. It's basically, I buy NFT art. I'm a big fan of NFT art, and I'm going to interview everyone that I've bought from, and then maybe people I haven't even bought from, because I think this is so important to get a long form piece of content to the artist, because that's everything's brand. Everything is about selling yourself, marketing yourself, showing the people who you are, why you do your art, what it means to you, all those things. So I know how hard it is to get started in making content. Getting started is the hardest part. So this is a long form piece of content for them, for me, for you guys. If you guys want to buy, all Shaun's stuff will be linked in the description. But I mean, with that, Shaun, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about you, man, and your art.
Appreciate that a lot. 100%. Thank you for having me on.
100%, dude. So tell me about this. So you joined my Discord a fucking long time ago. You were thinking about doing some NFT art, some NFT, or just NFTs in general. And then you were like, you know what? I want to drop this art collection of 100 graffiti NFTs. Talk to me about the vision, why, how, and just the whole process about it.
So a little bit about myself and the viewers that are watching. I have a Tourette's, so like I actually have a physical twitch. I don't have the Tourette's where like people are like verbally cursing, but my body moves on its own. So when people see that, I'm okay. So I mean, with my art, I mean, funny thing is like, so like one thing about myself is like when I do my art, I don't twitch. So that's like one big thing that like helps me to relax and helps my mind get like focused. And like when I'm painting, when I'm drawing, like it's like my Tourette's doesn't exist. So it's like my own little like world that I get into, which helps me a lot to like relax myself and helps me focus on something in particular, like my passion. So yeah, I jumped into the Joyage. I mean, when it was literally it's still early, but when it was literally an infant, I think there was like 30 of us or something in the Joyage. And that's when I was really getting into NFTs. And Easton, our pal, was like, you should join. My friend Cade, blah, blah, blah. Like really, he's trying to get this community started, and it's been amazing how fast this Discord has blown up. But just being around so many, like really getting into NFTs and seeing like the art be the forefront, where a lot of the times, I mean, I can draw something or do something, and like it's not going to get the recognition or the compensation that NFTs has been getting. And I've been doing graffiti since, I mean, I'm 29. I turned 30 in January. I've been doing graffiti since I was like 13, 14. And like when I was looking around, this was when I first came up with the project. This is when it was strictly PFP projects. When it was like, it wasn't about utility. It was just about your avatar. And I looked everywhere. I was like, I don't really see any graffiti projects, because everything is about like animal, or back then was like animals and just that. So I was like, that's one thing I didn't see that I could touch on. And I'm very big into mental health. Because I deal with my own stuff, from anxiety to my Tourette's to I have OCD. So I was like, what can I do to help push some positivity into the community, and get rid of all this toxics around that I've seen? I mean, it's a little sprinkle, but at least it's something better than nothing. So that's when I came up with the idea with the project Graffirmation, basically doing my graffiti and using positive reinforcement words and putting it out there, to hopefully someone reads it, and then just from that, it just creates like a trickle effect, because you never know, one little thing can change someone's entire day. And this is a cool form of my art that I thought would grab the attention. So yeah, that's a big reason why I did it. And I wanted to really just get back to the mental health community, because if you guys, whoever is getting into NFTs, you'll see both ends of the spectrum of where people are super stoked and then where people are super pissed.
Yeah.
So this was just my way to help the momentum of where I believe, the community should be. So that's like where everything came about. And Graffirmation is literally graffiti and affirmations. And it just so happened that both the words combined literally
Yeah,
perfectly. So yeah, that's where the name came about.
that's awesome, dude. It's actually funny because the word joyage, for people who don't know, that came from the word voyage and joy, and so I literally combined the two. And it's funny because back in the day, I used to make fun of people who made brands by just combining words until that's just what it became and it stuck. And I was like, fuck. And so that's how it happened. And also something that you don't know about me, because I was waiting to tell you for the podcast. I actually dealt with a form of mild Tourette's, especially growing up. It's still there for me. It's just it shows up depending
Wow,
on what
yeah,
I'm
wow.
doing in life, and just kind of how you said, like when you're in your zone, you kind of forget about everything, and that's why I honestly that's why I love NFT artists so much, because I got into art and I do like photography, and getting lost in that and not thinking about anything is so nice. And I remember I struggled it was in middle school. I got bullied so much for being Japanese. I was the only Japanese kid in a school full of rich white people, and that and my Tourette's, I had this chicken neck where I would like it was like one of these things, and then it would be like this, and I would have to like do this, and it
Yeah,
was whatever Twitch ended up being, and so I still have them. I'll just do like random little
yeah.
things, and I can't stop. Or I had like this thing in my like I would have to like do something with my tongue or like my mouth or something, and it was always a tick after a tick, and then I would get over it, and then another one would pop up, and it sucked because it was so
It's
embarrassing.
exactly how. Yeah, it's exactly how well, it was. I mean, I have my phases, but that's literally how my Tourette's started. I don't like saying getting worse. That's just how it really started developing. It was kind of like, all right, we're done for this season. What's the next? What's the next tick for this new
Exactly,
season?
man. And it was awful because I would. The worst part was the fact that I knew I had it and I knew people were watching, and that was almost worse than the actual Tourette's, because I felt the judgment, and so I totally feel you there. That's it stinks because like especially growing up, it stuck. I mean, now it's kind of like whatever, but like back in the day when kids are cruel, it
Yeah,
sucked. And so it's amazing that you found art and were able to kind of funnel that energy or whatever that even is, and kind of like put your who you are into these art pieces. And that's where I saw like your Graffirmation NFTs. As soon as you sent me one, and I saw the Joyage one, which you made, which I fucking love, and I really appreciate making that. And it's my channel art. It's my cover art or whatever it's called. And so I'm a big fan. I picked up Joy. What did I pick up? I picked up Joy. I picked up the other ones I bought. Do you remember? I can't remember. It's on my phone somewhere. Hold on.
it was Joyage.
Oh, I forgot about Joy and Joy. Yeah. Oh, here it is. I got Resilient, and I got Fighter and Joy, and I just love them, dude. They're so cool. There's no NFTs like this that I've seen anywhere. And so if you're looking to get behind like an NFT artist who cares, this is one. I mean, that's why I'm interviewing you. That's why I bought. I wouldn't have bought if I didn't think that you had some real like emotion behind this, and so I'm a big fan of it. How long? Tell me about the process of making this shit, because that must have taken so long.
Yeah, the process was a bitch. So I mean, I have my in real life job. I'm married. I do a lot of social. Like this was literally. It took me at least a month and a half, 2 months to draw everything out. I mean, because I would literally go on my iPad, I would draw, and then some of them I actually had to redraw a few words because I realized after I drew the word, I forgot to add a letter. So I was like, crap. So I had to literally scrap a word and then
Yeah,
rewrite the word. So it took me like a month and a half because what I do is I go on Procreate. Everything is hand drawn. Like I don't do the let like I don't create. And I tried to literally, and why it even took me longer is because I try to make each word in each letter. Like I try to not make it look like I use the same. Like you could tell it's my
yep,
style, but I didn't try to use the same style. Like I try to make it me, but to try to make it different for every single word, so it didn't look like the cookie
yeah,
cutter stuff. So it really actually advanced my style and my art even more because I actually really thought more of what I was doing. I mean, graffiti to me is how the way I think about it is you're taking a letter and you're breaking it down and you're making it abstract. It's like literally Doctor Strange what he does to the
yeah, yeah,
buildings. It's like you're warping these things so it's still the letter, but it's in a different way. So that's how with this whole thing it took a month and a half. I did 108 words because I have the 100 that I did for the collection, and then I have the 8 that were airdropped, like one for you, and then a few other people. So yeah, and then after I drew them, I'm very OCD, so like I literally went back in, made sure I cleaned up like the lines, I sharpened the lines, And once all that was done, I threw it into Photoshop was the easiest. So I could throw it into Photoshop and I literally used the gradient tool. And I chose like, the two different colors. And I was just playing with the gradients. Like, oh, I like this way this goes and this way this goes. And I like these color meshes. So that to me was the funnest part. Drawing was the longest experience, but it definitely got me back into my. I mean, NFTs has literally reignited my passion for my
Same.
art because I mean, unfortunately, I mean, I draw a lot on my iPad, but unfortunately, being a graffiti artist, like a wall is my
Hmm.
canvas. I mean, I can use an actual canvas, but I mean, it's not the same as using something like as big as what's
Hmm.
behind me. And even though I'm in South Florida, there's not a lot of legal walls, and my time for legal walls was back when I was a
Hmm.
teenager. So the NFTs has really made me really get back in my art. And as well, it's like it sucks because like there's things like I don't know if you ever know what
Yep.
Fiverr is. Like like when you have an artist in India who literally makes a graphic design for $20, it kind of diminishes the value of
Yeah.
your art. And NFTs has really revitalized that, where it's kind of like that's one of the biggest things I love about NFTs. It's bringing the power back to the artist. Um, which I mean, without artists, a lot of these projects wouldn't be making the money they'd be
Yeah.
making.
100%, man. 100%. NFTs has just it's changed the game, and the reason, honestly, a big reason I'm doing these interviews at all is because I'm investing in the artists. I think the artists. I mean, for like my best performing NFT right now is Sydney's Side of Light, like, or at least for long form. I think it'll be the highest performing, and she's an artist. She doesn't have $15 million that she made from the mint with a 10,000 avatar. 25
Yeah,
people in the team. She's an artist by herself with her brother working in her house, and I'm more bullish on artists because I think they have way more flexibility to build brand. And I believe in myself, and myself as an artist and creator. I think my brand will far exceed fucking whatever brand of NFT company because I have the power of individuality and personality, and I'm able to speak and articulate some of those things. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting you guys in front of a
yeah,
camera, getting anyone who's an NFT creator in front of the camera and talking and saying who you are. And honestly, one thing I haven't told anyone yet is this interview is actually just the tipping point, because I'm going to start interviewing people in my Discord, anyone in my Discord, random people who join my Discord, because I believe that every single person should be heard at least once in their life, have a piece about them where they get to speak and feel heard, because I don't think enough people feel heard in this world. I didn't feel heard until I got a job at a restaurant and 30-year
yeah,
old people talked to me like a human being instead of a kid. And I was like, wow, this is so nice. I wish more people could feel this because I know there's so many who don't. So tell me a little bit about your mural
yeah.
behind you, and actually um, show me, if you can, turn the camera a little bit, because that is fucking awesome. I love Pokemon.
So I actually let me see. Today,
Insane.
let me. So I'm actually working. So it's me. It's I mean.
Woo!
So I have Mega Gengar. Today I worked on the Mew with the Pokemon.
Beautiful.
I have to just do the black outline, but I wanted to at least get the color done. Then I got Mega Charizard, and then I'm gonna add graffiti at the top of
Dude,
this, and then I'm gonna do planets, and then my friend, her Dragon Ball piece is right
beautiful.
here, and then another one of my friend is doing Gundam.
Dude, that is awesome.
Even with even with this right here, the wall, it's so
Yeah.
thick, like it's literally like concrete. So it's being an artist is great, but it's a lot. It teaches you about
Yeah.
patience, because that wall, like I'll paint a coat and the wall seeps it, so I have to paint it like two and a half times to get the color that I want to
Mm-hmm.
get. When then you gotta wait for it to dry, then you gotta so it's a process. But I mean, I'm a freaking nerd. I'm huge. Like my hero is the shirt that I'm wearing today. And I'm big into, like, a lot of this stuff is like inspiration, like Pokemon. Like I literally have a Kid Robot logo, because when I was growing up, I don't know if you know Kid
Mm-hmm.
Robot. Kid Robot's a huge brand that literally, I got this when I was 18. I mean, it's just was something that like, inspired like my creativity and my art. So yeah, this is I'm doing for my friend's
Mm-hmm.
arcade in where I live in South Florida. And yeah, I mean, he was just like he wanted something timeless, and I was like
Yeah,
Pokemon.
exactly. Pokemon. I love it, dude.
And this is taking, I don't even know. This has been a lot of hours. It's been a lot of love and time put into this, and I'm excited for it to be done, and I'm excited to definitely get to show the final piece. But yeah, I'll take
All right.
pictures for you so you could throw
Yeah.
it in here.
Turn your camera a little bit just to center yourself again in the visual portion of it.
All right, there
Nice.
we go.
Um,
And sorry guys, this camera over here. I don't know why my computer's doing this, but
it happens, dude.
I got Batman and I got Batman right here in the shadow.
Talk to me about the difference between doing art on Procreate and doing art on a mural, like visual, like real art. Is there a difference? Do you notice a difference as far as like how you feel as an artist when you're doing it?
Yeah, I think Procreate has literally made it easier than ever to be an artist. Like I'm like I said, I'm 29, but like we didn't have like when we were teenagers, we didn't
Yeah.
have that stuff. Like yeah, there was Photoshop, yeah, there was Illustrator, but like in high school, like I was drawing, back when it came to notebooks and black books, drawing on paper using markers. I mean, a lot of the times now you can like if you have a
Mhm.
Procreate, you can make a straight line by you can literally make a line, and if you hold the line, it will become automatically
Yep.
straight. So you don't even have to know how to draw a straight line to make a straight line within Procreate. So Procreate has made it a lot
What do you think
easier
about that?
because also you can literally draw. I think it's great for the execution and stuff. I think anything that helps you speed the process up and still gives you the same outcome. I'm all for it. I think that's what that metaverse is. We're literally bridging people together and we're making it
Mhm.
easier. But it definitely, to me, when I do something like a mural, I definitely feel more connected to that because the time, the energy, the hours, the creativity, like the pain that went to behind making it. Because I can literally, like I've been drawing the last few nights. I'm telling you first, but what I'm trying to do to like market myself in my project is I'm just gonna start to make derivative. So like for example, last night I wrote doodles in graffiti and I'm making like a doodle face
Yes.
within the O's. So like I'm gonna start making derivative names of like these
Great
projects
idea.
and just post them on Twitter to try to get some recognition. So I'm gonna do doodles. I'll probably do like Board a Yacht Club and it like not to like make an NFT, but just make the art and make it as my own
Do it.
derivative, but as the word because there's a lot of derivative projects, but it's just me for fun to do. To maybe if someone sees it, they're like, "Oh shit, that's dope!" Because I like Board a Yacht Club, and then they see my art. So that's something that I'm just for fun for marketing that I'm doing, which I'll show you afterwards. Like I drew like Alluvium, I drew Kieran's
Dude,
name, the co-founder.
it's a great idea.
So like that's just something. Yeah, so that's because I was like all these derivatives, but nobody has done anything with the words, which is literally the
Yeah.
brand of the actual project. But yeah, I would definitely say I think Procreate is great for new artists because someone who doesn't know how to draw on paper, but they want to be able to draw and express themselves, grabbing an iPad and getting the pencil and be able to make those mistakes and be able to mess up and reverse and like see what you did. I think it's a great. I always tell people pencil and paper will really make you see how well you are, but I think the iPad is a phenomenal thing for like the future. And sometimes people are like I've met, for example, tattoo artists who are like shitty artists, but they can literally knock out
Yeah.
a tattoo and make it phenomenal. So I think this is a great medium that will help people like get to where they want to do. But yeah, I definitely think doing a mural is like painting on a canvas. It's a lot harder because if you mess up, you can't. The only way to erase it is by
Mhm.
painting over it. Which makes you a lot more like focused on what you're doing. It makes you a lot more like I don't know what it is. The word it just puts you really into
Yeah.
that mindset, like what you're doing with the iPad. Oh, you mess up a line, you mess up, you could just back like make a few steps back and you're back to
It's
where you
kind of
were.
like film photography. When people shoot with film, you got like 4 shots, on the film, and if you fuck one of the four, you're like, well, crap.
Yeah,
Let me go back to the piece about you saying
exactly.
you're gonna make some pieces for projects. That's a fucking amazing idea. You should actually lean really hard into that because what I've done, and I've made a name for myself very fast, is I'll do an interview after I make a review on a project. I'll reach out to the team, and I get free publicity. I get thousands of people that follow these founders and teams, and they want to be interviewed by me because I've set myself up to be the guy who does the interviews. If you're the guy who does the graffiti art that makes their pieces look fucking sick for banners, like imagine this. Imagine they go, "Hey, we want to hire you to make 50 banners to be like our templates." So doodles holders can have cool cover
That would
art
be
because we
sick.
like your graffiti. That's where
So let me
real
show you.
combinations come in, and that's a great idea.
So I'll show you guys. I didn't color it in yet, but I don't know. So this is how it's
Hell
looking
yeah,
so
that's
far.
so cool. Hell yeah,
So I'm making the O's like the doodle style characters. I mean, if people can, so now I just got to add the color, but
dude.
I love how it's coming out because it's, and so that's just one example. And then of course the color I'm gonna do later. But yeah, I finished that last night, and when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I think I'm onto
Well,
something.
here's the crazy part. I'm not saying I can read the future or I can see the future, but I bet on Sydney, I bet on you, I bet on Lisa, I bet on Crispy Coco, and I've bet on Matt so far. And so far, every single time after I bought, I can't tell you how happy I was after. Not just because the art's cool and I like you guys. I'm so excited to, foster this relationship and keep growing in this space. But you guys have ideas that are creative and innovative that I've never thought of, and I didn't think that like these weren't a thing when I bought them. Like these were ideas that happened afterwards. It's not like I talked and strategized with you, and I'm like, look,
Oh
it's
no,
just cool
yeah,
that I like pick people who are just fucking smart and like are looking to make ripples in the NFT space, just like me. And that's what Joyage brand is about, and getting people with the same mindsets. And that's why I buy from certain artists versus others, because there's some artists where I'm like, your art is dope, but I don't care to buy from you because I don't see that factor of like I'm ready to change the fucking world through my art, whatever small
yeah.
piece of the world you can change. But having that vision and actually going for it is something that I see in artists, and it's like a little aura or vibe that I pick up through the art and through seeing your socials and stuff.
That's funny you say
So
that.
it's just really important.
I'm a big believer of because I'm a big believer of catching someone's
Yeah.
aura, which is like it's weird to say, but like usually 9 times out of 10, when the vibe that I get off of somebody or their aura, I'm
Mm-hmm.
usually correct. I mean, there's times, of course, I'm not perfect, but it's something like that
Yeah.
with that. So it's I mean, when with these even though we speak a lot in the Discord, having these conversations, I mean, as you said, I guess for me to know you more and you to know me more, because you can't get this type of context, which I wish Discord had an audio feature. Not like the video chat, but I wish we can actually send audio messages in Discord,
Oh,
because that I mean it would, because a lot of times I'm like shit, I want to like be able to express more when I'm talking to you guys, and I can't because
well, we
it's
can
like
do
via just
video. We can
chatting.
shoot a video and post a
Oh
video in there. I think maybe. Not sure.
yeah, because it'd be sick just in general if we had like, because there is those voice channel chats, but that's just something I'm very about just expressing, and like just like you said, this idea for that just literally came because I was just like drawing, and I'm just like yo, I'm not, I don't like doing fan art because like I'm not like I support the project, I believe in someone's project, but I don't like being called a fan or a stan. Like it's just I just hopefully it's me doing my art, putting it out there. I don't expect anything in return from any of these people. If they see it, they like it dope. If not, then I did a
Yep.
dope piece that someone might look at and
And
like.
that's the best mindset.
Which is the whole point. Which is dope. Yeah, I don't. Even with the art that I have, I mean, I'm 1/5 sold out, and
Hell
I'm
yeah.
happy. Like I'm happy. I mean, of course, everybody wishes that, their project sold out, but I feel as if there's so many art projects in general that it will sell out in time,
Yeah.
and when it does, the right people will like it and will
Yeah.
appreciate it. I mean, that's where I'm very long, like just like I'm very long term about
That's
NFTs.
great.
So to me, all the stuff that I'm doing is to build to the point where I'm looking 5 years ahead of what I'm
Yeah.
doing now. Because I wish I would have had this mindset when crypto was
I
like in
know. I
2013,
know, man.
and a lot of people don't. A lot of people look at and that's what people see, the NFT space move so quick, but a lot of people can't see like in a year from now, like when Coinbase NFT drops, uh, you have when you have who is it? When Elron gets bigger, when Soul C gets bigger, like people don't, and that's where I'm trying to like us establish now. So I don't want to be like, damn, I should have done this a year ago when not that many people were looking at it. So that's how with even with this project, I have a lot of ideas that I want to execute, but I know it's not the time to
Yeah. It's about
execute it,
timing.
and I got to be patient to yeah, and I got to be patient to where it gets to there, because I really want to do a charity project, a charity piece that like me and Sydney were talking about. But like even then, she was like, "Oh, Soul C doesn't do an auction yet," and like we want to wait for the timing of when Soul C has an auction, so this way when we have the piece up, people can bid on it, and then of course it'll go to whatever
And
foundation.
not only that
So
with the
that and
timing of
that's a
Soul Sea, it's more that you guys need to work on your brand more. You need a few months of building that fan base and getting people to fuck with your brand. Otherwise, no one's gonna care to bid on a. I mean, yeah, the idea is cool.
exactly
Of course, why wouldn't you bet on a mental health piece? But they're not going to. That's the thing. Until you set that brand.
no
So
exactly. And the big thing that you say in all the projects, which honestly has helped me like to who I choose to invest in, like for NFT projects, is you are investing in an initial, like you're investing
Yep.
in a startup. Like a lot of these things look phenomenal, but you don't know in a few months, in a year, if they're even going to
Yeah.
be around, if they're just going to out of nowhere just be like, screw it, like
Yep.
pumpkin heads. It looked like it was going great. And then out of nowhere, they rugged the
Yep.
project. So that's like a big mindset that within my own project and with where I'm investing my money into. Like, do I really see these
Mm.
people going to be here in a year, 2 years, 3 years? Because there's a lot of dope and great projects, but I mean, like how long are they really going to be here? So, and like I actually do watch all your. I mean, I'm not just saying. I actually do watch every single video that you drop, not just because you're a friend, but because I actually enjoy the content you
Thank you,
create,
man.
and I'm trying to. And I actually and I learn from it, and it actually helps me think. And from what you actually say in your videos, you're helping people try to navigate in the metaverse. Is how I approach when I watch these videos. I'm not trying to rely on anybody to try to get me to where I want to be, but it's definitely a great source to listen to. Even the interviews with these other artists, I'm like, damn, I didn't realize like with the Doodles co-founder, like how much behind the scenes work it is to really make these big
Hmm.
projects, like into like the bullshit that can happen. And like I think he said he had to pay, I think what did he say, like hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars he had to pay in gas because of some issue that happened before mint.
It's crazy, dude.
So it's like I don't have that. I'm like, I don't have that money.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like, and it's like, and just, and even when I minted on SoulSea, I didn't realize what a pain it was because you have to like, it wasn't like it was like like to be transparent, it cost me like $400 to $500 to mint the entire project, but it took me like 8 hours to
Wait,
mint
hold
it.
on. It took you how
Literally, I was like
much to
one
mint it? Why did it cost that much? It should cost nothing.
because see, that's what you would think. So you have to put your picture as a preview. You have to put the picture as the mint. So they charge you both times for that, and then they charge you to actually mint it, to actually put it
But
for
it's only a
sale.
couple
So there's
cents.
three charges.
No.
No, it was you. I think the gas, I guess, depends on your connection, like the blockchain. That's what I thought too. But it cost me like literally exactly 2 SOL to mint the entire all 108 pieces and get it up for sale.
Interesting. When I
So that's
Yeah.
another another thing I learned with SoulSea, that for you to buy the project, yeah, it's like the gas is like a few cents. But when if you ever go to list it, you'll see preview picture. Then it makes you upload your actual like the picture again for the NFT. And then once you actually do that to get it for sale, they charge you again. Which I'm not going to complain. I mean, like $500 is nothing compared to what like OpenSea like to do. But it's a learning thing that I found out that I hope whoever's watching this and they want to mint on SoulSea, make sure you actually like have, I mean, like a few SOL in your wallet to be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah. I did
Um,
not know that with
Luckily, I did. Luckily, I
good.
literally had 2 SOL in my wallet just because I was like, oh, if I'm gonna I might as well invest in Solana. And then I happened to like use all my Solana making this project, which again, it doesn't. I'm looking. It's a very short term thing for
Yeah.
my long term goal, but
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
great mindset you have toward it.
something that
When I
I
when I
learned.
minted my NFTs on OpenSea, I had to pay an initial gas fee just to get started, and that probably cost me $100 maybe. But I can't believe it cost so much because gas is so cheap on Solana. But I guess that's one of those hidden things that people wouldn't know about until they heard this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, if you do like one thing, it's like it's also just like the blockchain. Like, what time of
Hmm.
day are you doing it? The connection of your internet, and it took like literally out because you have to just for people a quick breakdown for anybody. You have to put it literally one by one. You have to put like the captions, the tags, the description, and then once you finally mint, it takes like 2 to 3 minutes for it to actually load and do its
Wow.
thing. And then, oh, another thing with Solana is if you mess up anything, you can't
Yeah,
edit
I
it.
remember that. I know that. I know about that.
So
I've
if
had
you
people who do art and they're like, "Yeah, I have like 3 versions of this because I fucked it up," and I'm like, "Oh, that sucks. That's so annoying."
Yeah, that happened to me. Literally the first time. And you know what's funny? At the bottom it says in red, but of course there's so much text in there, you're not seeing it. But I like the first like accept. I wrote ACCC on accident because I was typing it and I was like, shit. So I just wasted money on a mint that I can't even use. So I had to redo it again. So
Stinks.
whoever's listening, this can also be how to mint on SoulSea because I'd rather my. So I'm a big person where it's like you only learn from your mistakes and then you never
Yep.
do it again. So that's a big like whenever I have kids, like that's the way I'm
Yeah.
going to teach them. Like make the mistakes to learn not to do the mistake
100%.
again. Because if you don't do the mistake, who said it? Was it Einstein or was it Benjamin Franklin that when they made the light bulb, he's like, I found like 101 ways not to
Thomas
do
Edison.
it, and like yeah, Thomas Edison, and like that's my mentality. I found ways not to do it, so now when I do it again, I can execute it
Yeah,
with ease.
100%. That's how I look at everything. That's how I mean I said this in my last video. I look at NFTs like I do Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Like I'm paying to play, paying to learn. There's no other way. You have to do this. And that's why all my videos I
Yeah,
talk about, I mean,
exactly.
look, and how you just said about my videos, the way you watch it is you look at it for mindset, you look at it for strategies, for ways of thinking versus the specific details I say about each project are more or less irrelevant. Those are more for the traders, and hopefully that information helps them. But
Yeah,
I'm way more macro level on an NFT, just as an idea more than anything. And I'm investing in the idea of the NFT world, which will at some point become the metaverse. And that's where I look into the future. And I'm thinking the same as you. I'm thinking 5, 10, 20 years in the future. I mean, I've got a book already started
you
that's going to
gotta be.
be interlooped with my brand, with the storyline, with the game that I'm going with. And it's all starting now. It's beginning now. It's going to take 10 years. And that's where the brand is everything, because people aren't with you for 10 years. Then it's like, who gives a shit once you finally release your big thing? And so that's great that you're thinking about all those
Yeah,
things. And
exactly.
what's the next couple steps moving forward with Graffirmation? I mean, you got it minted. Or is it just continuing the brand, just like making more art, or like what's the move?
So yeah, so I mean it's continuing the brand. Like I said, I'm working on the derivative art that it's not to be made as an NFT unless the company that like Doodles, unless they hit me up and are like, hey, we want to take that and we want to bring this into the Doodles thing. Then it'll be right now. It's just making art for the sake of making art for fun and then seeing who picks
Mm,
up on it. I mean, there's a big project that I want to do, which I know I can't do anytime soon. It's going to be called Fat Caps. Um, and the first time I ever actually explained what that's going to be. So my idea comes from the Kid Robot. Kid Robot used to have these little figures, and then the head used to be a fat cap. So it used to, if you ever looked at a spray can and like where you spray out of like that cap, it used to be a fat cap, and it used to have a
mm,
body. So I'm taking the inspiration off of that and making my own NFT of it. But that's going to be like that to me is down the road, and that I actually want to bring on other artists. I want that to be a collaborative piece with other artists. But for right now, it's really just building my name and getting people to know me just like this. And I plan on doing AMAs uh, soon. I have a friend who and it's crazy how the people you meet because of
yeah.
NFTs. I have, I met a friend. There's a show called Top Chef, what I was telling you about, and one of the contestants. He was on season 4 and he was on All Stars, and he's a really big and like famous chef. His name is Chef Spike, and we became friends because of NFTs, and we plan on holding an AMA about NFTs and art and just in general
Hell
sometime
yeah.
soon, which is the first time I've ever mentioned that because we've just been talking in the Twitter DMs. So I just plan on Brandon, and like I said, I want people with I've learned with having Tourette's, like my mental state has been better than it's ever been because when you learn to accept yourself and like who you are, I mean, nothing can
Yeah.
stop you. Um,
Agree.
so I mean, it's been taking a long time in the making. So that's what I plan on doing: just having fun with my art, making these derivatives, seeing where it seeing where it
Yeah.
takes me. Keep on pushing the project. Just meet people, connect, and just yeah. I mean, hopefully, out of nowhere, that light bulb will go on where my like with you with Fidel, how you that happened, and then you like just the little things you've done where you've seen it blow up. Hopefully, from me dabbling in different parts, it will lead me to that next step. But I'm
Yeah.
patient. I'm not trying to get rich overnight. I'm not trying to get big overnight. I mean, it'll happen when it
That's a great
happens.
idea.
So that's really where, and with Graffirmation, last thing, I mean, I'm trying to do like sub things under it, like you said, fat caps will be under like Graffirmation will be the top, and then fat caps will be right below it. Like it'll be like a sub
Mm,
branch of it, because I want to do a lot for it, and like I want to do a lot under the concept of making street art with a positive
yeah.
twist. So that's where my plans of it is going in 2022. I mean, who
Yeah. Who
knows?
knows, man?
I'm really looking forward. I'm excited to it. And I've just from seeing other projects from them being nothing, and then out of nowhere, like I was watching your Feudals interview, how they were working on it for 3 months, and then they dropped the project, and then I mean, of course, it's a big PFP project, but it's just crazy in this space how you could be a nobody to a somebody in a
Literally.
day. Like something happens. So I mean, that's well, I mean, I'm very
Yeah.
patient, and I'm hoping that my art will eventually get to the right person's face, and then be like, oh shit, like So we'll see. But until then, I'm just having
Yeah,
fun
and
with it.
honestly, when that day comes where maybe you have someone notice your art and they retweet it and something crazy happens, it'll be the work you put in before that happened. It'll be the preparation you did. It'll be the videos
Yeah,
you posted. So
exactly.
that's the only piece of advice I say is post whatever you're gonna post video wise. Increase that by like 3 times. And post the boring things, post the trivial things, post the stuff that you don't think anyone cares about. Little snippets of you saying, "Man, fuck this piece of art. I don't know why I can't do this." Like people want to see that. Like people don't. You don't think they want to,
Yeah,
but they want to.
I need to post more videos.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna do so. I realize I'm just gonna focus on Twitter. Not I know TikTok's big, but like Twitter is just like a real place where I feels I can grow everything. Because I tried TikTok and I'm just like, like dabbled in it. Wasn't digging TikTok. Unless you're a pretty girl on TikTok, it just
It's hard. It's harder.
it just happens not to. It's harder. But I think Twitter is a space where I can combine everything. So yeah, I definitely put on. I mean, it's friends like you and people like you that push me to call me on my bullshit to be like, you need to
Yeah.
do it. Like,
I mean, I'll call you on your bullshit
and I
right
could
now. You
do it. I
should post on
just
TikTok and you should post on YouTube because
gosh.
Twitter's not good enough. You're not gonna be able to do enough on Twitter. I promise you, you won't be able to do it. You have to do both. YouTube's gonna be your best. You need to do YouTube. I'm not kidding. That's like a you have
Yeah, I
to.
mean, I'm a more of a fan of a fan of YouTube than I
Yeah.
am TikTok, because I'm a big person of YouTube than TikTok. TikTok,
Same.
I feel like a
I
boomer for just like
yeah.
feeling like, because TikTok, like when TikTok was Vine when I was
Yep.
so, and now it's just, yeah. But I need to no BS. I know I
It's the
need to.
video. It's the video that's
I'm
the
just
main
like,
thing. That's what people. That's why YouTube's the king. It's the king of everything. It will always be the king. YouTube is going to be your best bet. Sydney just started it. She went from 20 subscribers to like 300 in like a few weeks. Just posting a few videos. It can be a 10-minute extravaganza. You can set up your camera, sit there like you did a few weeks ago, and say, "This is my piece. Here's what I mean by it," and just start doing that every week. And it'll catch. It'll get easier too.
yeah. I mean, that's all I can say is yeah, because I
Yeah.
need to. And I mean, I definitely need to start going. And actually, with the idea, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to do the videos of these derivatives. I'm going to make for every derivative that I do, I'm going to make a mini
There you
clip
go.
with it explaining the
Hell yeah.
derivative.
Hell yeah, man.
I feel as if there's something needed to be something that, or even you just give me some ideas about making for every Graffirmation that I've done, making a 1 minute clip of why I made that word.
Yes, yes, you definitely should. I'm going to do that for
So
my
you just
NFTs as well.
literally you just gave me sparked. He sparked.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm all right now that now it's in a video. I can't
Yep.
go back on it because now it's
And
time
it's
recorded.
easier than you think. I promise you. It's going to take a lot less time than you think.
No, I know
Yeah,
it's easy. It's literally
doing it.
about
Yeah.
sitting, putting the time, doing it, and it's very simple. It's just my biggest weakness is
Mhm.
procrastination. I know what to do. I know how to get it done, but then I'm just like, I
Yeah.
can I could put it to
I feel
tomorrow,
you.
put it to later, and that's something in myself that I need to which a big thing with mental health. If you could look within yourself and see what your strengths are, which is phenomenal, but also see your weaknesses because we're
Mhm.
all human. That's how you're going to move forward. And then again, this is why this a big thing in this project is because of the words that I'm putting out there. It has me
Yeah.
self-reflecting, and has as much as I want people to realize how amazing they are, it's not bad to see the weakness to make yourself stronger in yourself. Not to get into some to some life coaching, but it's just from me thinking while you said that I react to the way from conversation. So hopefully, you never know, this might help one person look at themselves a little bit different to grow as an
Yeah, and
individual.
that's one of the main things I do with these interviews is when you're doing the interview, when I'm doing this interview, I don't know how someone else is going to take it. I might say something really small, insignificant in my head, and it might change someone's fucking whole outlook on life in a sector they weren't even thinking about. And it could happen weeks after they watch the video. They go, "Oh my god, I remember when he said that thing,"
Yeah.
or like he had Shaun on his podcast, and Shaun said something about his Tourette's, and I had Tourette's back, and like you can have all these healing moments that happen from completely indirect consequences of making a piece of content that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to do for the world.
Yeah, before we end this, because I appreciate your time, I was on a beginning of COVID. I was on T with Gary
Oh
V,
yeah,
and I got really lucky to be on T
yeah,
with Gary V, and it was like I've been following for a while, and a lot, it's either you
yeah.
love him or you hate him. It's either or, and I'm a big fan of him. And that honestly, that video, like he called me on a lot of my like a lot of the like real bullshit that I was telling myself because of the perception that I had that others was thinking of me
Mm,
instead of what I had the perception of
mm,
myself. So it's like that. Like it's that interview alone changed a lot of the way that I thought about myself because I never used to like seeing myself on camera because my Twitch. Like I don't mind like when I meet people, like I'm very confident, but when it's on video and someone doesn't know me and they're like, oh, he has tattoos and he's twitching and all that, that's a different perception that people see on the other side without knowing you. But then after that, he like same thing, he was like, you don't know who you're gonna help by putting yourself out there. And I was like, shit. Like I was literally looking like this the entire time. And then he brought this down because I was like, that's true. Like I don't know who I don't by me putting this, it might help somebody relate. I mean, I'm a nobody, but it can help somebody. And from you saying that, it brought me back to the interview because it really changed the way that I thought about damn it, the macro picture. I was looking at the micro about myself, and a lot of times when you take that barrier down and you see that it can help somebody else. I mean, that's what I think is phenomenal about the NFT community. It's just all the positivity and everybody that can really help each other. So yeah, that's just what I want to say because it just really resonated with what you were
yeah,
saying.
dude. It's crazy because like one of my biggest dreams, and it's such a not even that big of a dream, but to me it's so big. Is Tom Bilyeu from Impact Theory, he's actually a friend of Gary's.
Yeah,
He literally saved my life when I was traveling in my car. I was like fucking depressed, fucking anxious about everything. I didn't know what my life purpose was. Why am I doing this? Like, what is the point of me traveling to this random ass mountain to hike it because I forgot what I'm doing here? And I would start going down these horrible rabbit holes, and then just like in your head, you know. And then one day I found a podcast by him
yeah,
on Impact Theory, and it's just like a little show he does, and he just talks to people, and he takes you through this like story. It feels like, and it's like a 2 hour conversation typically, and like he's learning as I'm learning, like in the podcast, because he's like asking questions. They're super interesting. They're talking. He's like, wow, like what about this? And I'm sitting there thinking the same thing, and I'm like, oh my god, what's she gonna say? And then she says it, and I'm like, oh my god, and I learned something about myself. Tom's out here on the podcast learning about himself. She's out here learning something about her, and I'm just like, wow, this is so crazy. And I feel like I'm on this journey with them, and I'm actually getting somewhere. And I would listen to like like one or two of his episodes a day. Every time I started to feel like shit, I'd be like, you know what? I can go learn something and get better and learn and be part of something. And so Tom Bilyeu literally saved my life. And so like one of my biggest aspirations ever is to just be on his Impact Theory show, and either one for me just to selfishly be on it because I just want to and I want to meet him, and two because like the fact that she recorded that episode with him, had no idea. She was just doing an interview, and she literally saved my fucking life, and I just want to like say thank you to him, you know. And that's it's just crazy what people can do indirectly.
that no, yeah, it's funny. I can literally just, I mean, I literally just, from your words, I imagined where Joyage is now, like why Joyage is and where it came from. It's literally a derivative of that.
Yeah.
Of that, like I literally saw your journey restart with that, with like that epiphany you had
Mm-hmm.
with that thing.
Yeah, man.
And this is, I mean, this is like I said, I feel definitely close as a friend to you from this, and I appreciate you having me on and having this conversation that it went from art to just
Yeah.
real life, and I think that's what we need to have because I mean, yeah, we're all artists, but as you say, finding out the person behind the art, finding out the person behind this image, it's what's going to connect you to them. So I appreciate you having me on and having the audience, and you already know I'm going to keep continuing to be on this
Hell yeah, man. I
Joyage.
appreciate everything. Is there any last like? Do you want to shout out anybody? Did you want to? I mean, I'm gonna plug everything for you in the description. But do you want to plug yourself, market yourself, say anything before we log off?
Um, well, I am a realtor. I say my IRL is I'm
Yeah.
a realtor, which is funny because I sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of like worth of homes, and like I'm tatted. I'm literally tatted up. I have a Twitch, and it just goes to show you that the way you perceive yourself, and if you have that confidence, the person you're, whoever it is, they're going to see that as well. If you don't believe in yourself, they're not going to believe in you. And the fact that I'm literally one of the, I'm, for being a realtor is super, like in South Florida, super young, and everything that I have. So like so just in general, having that, it's just, again, having that confidence in yourself. The next person, they won't even
Yeah.
look at that. It's because of what the aura you're putting. But other than that, yeah, I mean, my DMs are open. If you ever, I mean, he's gonna drop my
Yeah.
Twitter, my Soul C. Yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to. I don't really want to plug anything because I'm just grateful, and I like to give value before gaining
That's
value.
awesome.
So yeah, I'm gonna definitely end it off as that, and I appreciate anybody who's watching this. And like again, if anybody ever wants to reach out or just say what's up, Twitter's open, or join the
Hell yeah,
Discord.
dude. Join the Discord. Guys, I appreciate all you listening. This interview you just watched is why I bought this NFT. If you watch this interview and you're not interested in looking at NFTs, I don't know how to help you because this story is amazing. Shaun, you're a great dude. I'm so excited to just fucking continue what we've already
Appreciate
been
it.
doing. It's amazing, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, hit the like button, smash the like button, go follow him on Twitter, join the Discord, do all the things. And until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye.